IG is able to find himself a Pred Missile. That's going to be huge towards trying to win some key rotations, likely from 1 to 2. See if he decides to hold on to it or not, because he also has an operator to play with. And wow, the kills for Stalwart looking good on rotation back to the middle of the map. Just down to can they get the high ground with Q9 spawning on the left side of the map.
I mean, also just a heads-up play. You talk about the rotation over towards 1.
More around the backside of the truck, but largely speaking, this War Machine doesn't find as much punch as you would figure. It does allow Q9 to flip the map around, though. Pred Missile had been spent from FDX, but IG still holding on to his. Here comes the next play forward. Q9 still dealing with decent numbers, but Clove making a mess of it, already on to 2. He has a chance now for Stalwart to continue to break through the chicken coop, but on top is Uling, and that's enough for Q9 to still retain the right side of the map.
Yeah, it's all from that moment. Midu Stalwart just couldn't idly hang by and just watch all the time go over towards 1, but Q9 punished it. You're able to win the gunfights and flip the spawns for such a heavy rotation. It's a dead even game, 110 to 110. Got to try to find some stuns and nades to get over towards his hop up, but Q9 are starting to shut down the space.
I love this idea, though, from Stalwart initially. Try to just take your full focus down to the bottom of the map, because you technically have a Pred Missile to clear out the hard point, but as they get pushed out, now they're just defaulting to playing through the cave right into the waiting arms of Sun Sparrow. You also have the Purifier playing up, and this is not good. You do not want this if you're looking at it from Stalwart's perspective. IG just trying to desperately throw the Pred Missile in, but it's not going to really change the status of the hard point whatsoever. Q9 dominating on this setup around P2.
I mean, such an immediate response to your point there. The moment they got the information, I mean, frame perfect.
Are you ready or not?
From all of those operators are still being popped. Look at how many more members for Q9 are currently around the objective, because Stalwart are just getting gunned. No one's anchoring the back spawns, and then you get flanked. Q9 back in the time.
At least for now, over towards trench side. Sun dealt with. Still more operators at the ready. Equalizer and the Purifier going to be spent. What does it find? It finds nothing? Absolutely nothing?
Oh, no.
And now Uling over the backside with the War Machine could clear up the hard point. Uh-oh. Not what you want. Uling is teeing off. All 5 fall to the War Machine of Uling, and that will be enough for Q9 to get close, if not above, the 200-point threshold.
It's just felt so silent from Uling just until the War Machine pops out. Feels like the return of investment is about 3 kills plus. Very explosive operator, and the snowball continues on from P2 onward to P3. But you even look at the rotation towards P4, you still have the grace period before it actually pops. But Stalwart are still trying to hit through the old time and trying to surround the upcoming hill.
Yeah, and the problem is that was such an expensive hard point in terms of operator usage. Now you're just dealing with just Clove, who has one at the ready. The rest of Q9 getting close to earning some of their own, as they can win the game right here. And once more, here comes that same funnel, but just from the opposite side. If you're Stalwart, you have to get control of Chicken Coop. You cannot just keep defaulting to playing through the middle. I mean, this map has been at the pool for 2 years. We need to know this by now.
Got to be frustrating just to be on that stage. They might honestly just be thinking about the search and destroy coming up, but that might not be a good conversation or a good thought. You still have plenty of time left to maybe try to surmount the comeback. They break back in, still down to 20 seconds. You know that Q9 are still spawning over.
So now it's a 100-point game. Only 16 points needed for Q9, and they're going to rotate back over to P1, where they already have high ground control through maps. This is where it ends.
I mean, Q9 now have a sweet pickings on how would you like to win? Well, might as well just call a game here. Look at the spacing being provided, just making sure they cut down players left, right, and center. But Skurd does have a Sparrow, is able to at least find 2. You also had a push manifesting all the way through maps, so Stalwart in possession of the time.
For now, 3 operators, though, when Q9 want them. And they may not even need them. A couple of eliminations coming through. Clove trying to pull the hero play over towards the backside of Coop.
Very very happy not to have that one in this specific pool.
Yeah.
Search and Destroy, respectable as far as scoreline is concerned, though we do know that for all Chinese teams, they are very good at Search and Destroy at one point or another. But ultimately, with all that said, I think that this is still going to be a square-up matchup for this map number 1. Apocalypse could be the start that you need for Stalwart.
Yeah, I think for Stalwart, you have to win map 1, 3, and 4 if you were to win this series, which is easy to say against a Chinese team because we expect Chinese teams to win the Search and Destroy. But I think in particular, neither of these two teams are great at Apocalypse, and Stalwart has been riding the Summit train all weekend long. So it feels like both hard points and the control have to be won by Stalwart if they want to win the series.
All right, then give me quick predictions here. Who do you think's going to be taking this one home?
Q9.
Same?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Three, 3-2, though?
Yeah. I have it going 5 because, to Shift's point, if Stalwart are going to win this, it has to end in 4. Q9 are flawless through Search and Destroy all throughout the entirety of the tournament so far. So, yeah, don't go 5.
Yeah, I've just got Q9 losing the control.
All right. Well, at least similar in who you think's going to be taking this one home, and it looks like everybody is going to have same opinion. Same 3-2 and 3-1, so everybody matches up in some way.
We get along
fashion.
sometimes.
A little bit, every once in a while. So this is what we'll see. We'll see if everybody at home agrees with you. Well, if you're in chat, give us your predictions on who you think's going to be taking home match number 2. Which team continues on in the bracket, and who will be knocked out? Whose run ends here right now? Because that's exactly what is about to happen. Q9 versus Stalwart, getting ready to go. The game is loading in.
It's hard to justify how you can actually work your way back into an APOC hardpoint.
Yeah, I think, just there are some small differences in operator efficiency that was utilized throughout this map. I think in particular that moment from Wuling is the highlight bonus one. I think Hurley as well, the equalizers was unbelievable. But the thing about it is the macro of how you play the map.
Yes.
You cannot funnel through cave. You just can't. It's a 5v5 map on what was initially a 4v4 map when it was played in the traditional multiplayer. You have to send players on routes. You cannot just run through cave, whether it's P2 or P4. That's a day 1 mistake, and it's what punishes Stalwart.
Yeah, I mean, you just simply cannot play a card game with inside-out cards, and that's what it generally felt like. It was the definition of insanity. You're forcing yourself into very inopportune gunfights and more inopportune opportunities that made Q9 just look so brilliant with their operator usage as well. 50 and 34 out of Curly. A lot of those coming from the equalizer pulls of what we were just talking about. Same for Wuling, 45 and 25. But you look from top to bottom, and just the assist column again coming through. A lot of good team shots were coming through from Stalwart, absolutely, but Q9 just always felt like that they were playing around one another.
Yeah, and again, it's tough because if Stalwart were just to have tried to hit the outside routes through Temple, that map may look very different, but the largest stretch of points put together was between P2 and then again over to P4 where Q9 were just dominating the middle of the map. You just got to hit. You have to hit a route. I mean, the common phrase in the COD world that we say is "route man gets paid." No one got paid today from Stalwart because no one was hitting routes. So tough scenes overall, but hey, that's the one thing we talked about, that this APOC map wasn't necessarily going to lean towards one team or another based on statistics. What we're looking forward to would be Stalwart trying to take the Summit hardpoint in map number 4. But first, before they could do that, they got to find a way to fight against this firing range search, which Q9 is great at, and then find a way to manipulate the seaside control.
I mean, it's just, how do you not spin this as an uphill battle? Right? Q9 throughout the entirety of the weekend are 4-0. Yes, they've had some at least close escapes, but so their Search and Destroy, from what I was able to go back and watch last night, has been very, very good. And I think that this does play into their game mode, especially, or into their wheelhouse. Walking away with how dominant that win was on map 1. Uling's going to come in here with a sniper rifle and just have a heyday. Yeah,
it's definitely an uphill battle for whenever we're talking about X-Rock or Q9 playing up against them on Search and Destroy. But in particular, I mean, this Q9 team is the #2 S&D team this weekend. Like you said, they're flawless so far. Their average margin of victory